Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Urban exploration is a trend that has blown up in the past few years. Several people have taken to YouTube to upload their short documentaries on some of the abandoned places they've explored. While most of these videos are fun to watch, sometimes explorers find things that are just too strange and incredible to start with. From a dead pet waiting for its owner to million-dollar paintings. Let's have a look at the 10 most incredible things found in abandoned mansions. Number 10. The Waiting Cat. We have to admire the bravery of YouTubers who just wander around in abandoned places like it's nothing. Could never be us. It's a job only crazy people can pull off. The YouTuber Bros of Decay, with his pals, explored the abandoned mansion of Mr. Alphonse. The place was untouched, like he left it yesterday. Everything was left behind. But there was one scary part about this home. They moved around the house looking for something they can record, which would get them a lot of views. And luckily, when they enter the room, the guys hit a jackpot. What they witnessed was disturbing yet fascinating. A dead, half-eaten cat lying on the bed. It seems as if the cat was waiting for the original owner of the house, and because of starvation, died on the bed. How long this cat must have waited for the owner? However long, we have to say that this is one loyal cat. This video has been viewed more than 600,000 times.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you'll get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it. It really works.
Number 9. Casket Girl. A remarkably well-preserved body of a little was discovered back in 2016 in an unmarked metal casket in a wealthy San Francisco neighborhood. She was barely 3 when she died and was interred in a long-forgotten cemetery more than a century ago. When workers discovered her elaborate coffin beneath a concrete slab, there were no markings or gravestones to say who she was. The mysterious girl was holding a flower. It took the researcher almost a year to find out who she was. It was Edith Howard Cook, who was born in San Francisco on November 28, 1873, the daughter of Horatio Nelson Cook and Edith Scoffy Cook. She died of marasmus, a form of severe undernourishment. The girl's DNA revealed that part of her lineage traced back to the British Isles. She was found entombed in an airtight casket that was 37 inches tall. Her curly locks were laced with sprigs of lavender and a rosary, and eucalyptus seeds were placed on her chest. This story has all the details of a horror movie, doesn't it? Number 8. TIPU Sultan's Treasure. Now, when it comes to artifacts, they are usually discovered buried deep in the ground or underwater, right? Well, not always. Wrapped in a newspaper and forgotten in the corner of a dusty attic in a townhouse in the English county of Berkshire, a couple discovered a hoard of highly valuable gold-encrusted swords and guns from the legendary Tipu Sultan. Tipu was an 18th century Muslim leader who took on the might of the East India Company and was one of the most feared soldiers in the subcontinent. In 1799, the Duke of Wellington's forces defeated Tipu Sultan in the final battle of the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War between the East India Company and Indians. The collection of unique and valuable artifacts discovered in the Berkshire attic was originally stolen from Tipu Sultan's palace and brought back to England by Major Thomas Hart of the East India Company. The artifacts were passed down through his family and now belong to a couple who have kept them wrapped in newspaper in their dusty attic. This 220-year-old treasure was worth millions when it was auctioned. Now that is an incredible find. Number 7. Lost Painting. Jesus died for our sins, but even now he is taking care of his children. Don't know what we're talking about? Well, this story will make it much clearer. For years, a painted panel depicting a scene from Christ's Passion and Crucifixion hung in the kitchen of a non-Agenarian woman in Copenhagen, France. She thought it was an old knockoff. Oh boy, was she wrong. It turns out that it was a rare Renaissance treasure that is more than 700 years old. The painting, which she stored above her hot plate, is believed to be the handiwork of Cini di Peppo, also known as Cimabue, a 13th century Florentine painter famous for mentoring Giotto. It was discovered when the woman decided to sell her house and some of her belongings. Action, a small auction house from the nearby town of Sinless, was contacted for an appraisal. A woman who had began her auction career just last year realized the potential of the painting immediately. She expected it to be priced at around $4 to $5 million, but she was wrong too. The painting was actually sold for $26.6 million. It's time to start looking for some old things in your home. Number 6. Stash of guns. We have seen a lot of weird finds by now, so finding guns in an abandoned home shouldn't be really a big deal, right? Wrong. This story will blow your mind. Pun intended. Back in 2015, police tracked down a 93-year-old man who owned an empty house in Westmoreland County. The house didn't have anything exciting, except for the 60-plus weapons that were everywhere in the house. The stash included a flintlock muzzle-loader rifle, a TEC-9 machine gun, an AK-47, a Thompson submachine gun and other assault rifles, and long guns. The house was actually discovered by kids, not even teenagers. Thinking they were toys, they took the guns to their treehouse and practiced shooting. Fortunately, the owner was sane enough to keep the guns empty. Otherwise, it could have turned into a very horrible incident. What was the man even doing with so many guns? Waiting on a zombie apocalypse? Come on, man. Number 5. Pablo Escobar safe. Even after being demolished, the Miami Beach mansion, formerly owned by Colombian drug lord Pablo Escobar, continues to reveal its secrets, hidden underneath the concrete. Back in 2016, workers razed the property at 5860 North Bay Road. They found a metal safe. It was hidden beneath the entrance of what had been a large pink mansion, consisting of 4 bedrooms, a pool, 6 bathrooms, and a garage. The safe was about 2 feet by 2 feet and weighed between 600 and 700 pounds, according to the workers. It is well known that the former boss of the Medellin cartel had accumulated such an immense fortune that he'd hid part of his profits in secret compartments, in the walls of his house, and even buried them in the floor. What was inside the safe is still a mystery because the authorities kept it from public view. More recently, a nephew of the Lord Pablo Escobar also said he found a plastic bag with money worth $18 million hidden in the wall of one of his uncle's houses. This is just one crazy family, isn't it? Number 4. Action Comics 1. You might not know this, but Nicolas Cage is a huge comic fan. After all, he came very close to ruining the character of Superman for us. Action Comics 1 is the comic in which Superman first appeared and is renowned as the most expensive comic book of all time. Approximately 100 copies of Action Comics 1 remain in existence, and one of those belonged to Nicolas Cage. That is, until it was stolen from his home in Los Angeles in 2000. Cage bought the comic for $150,000 in 1997 and thought it was lost forever before a lucky storage hunter found the comic in an abandoned storage locker in Southern California. Cage opted to sell the found comic in 2011 and netted $2.16 million as a result. Certified Guarantee Company, the leading grader of the quality of collectible comics, assessed Cage's copy a grade of 9.0, making it the highest publicly graded copy of Action Comics number 1. Another copy, however, was sold in 2014 for $3.2 million, making it the only comic book to have sold for more than $3 million for a single copy. Number 3. Thousands of turtles. This incredible find will give you goosebumps. Back in 2018, thousands of critically endangered tortoises were found dehydrated and starving in an abandoned building in Madagascar. These were all radiated tortoises that are endemic to Madagascar and critically endangered due to habitat destruction, poaching, and other stressors. Out of the 9,888 found, 574 were dead. These tortoises were being gathered for a shipment to Asia. In the Asian pet industry, these tortoises are the desired breed. The demand encourages poachers to collect as many as they can without any regard to the welfare of the individuals or the population as a whole. Humans really are the most ruthless animals. And now let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This picture of an abandoned Continental GT was taken in China. This is Bentley's best-selling car and one of the most popular ones. With a starting price mark of more than $200,000, it's not a cheap car to be abandoned as such. The car was found in an abandoned parking lot in Chengdu, where a lot more exotics were found rotting. What would you do if you found this beauty? Number 1. A Boldini painting. Inheriting stuff from your relatives can be a bittersweet moment. For some people, it was just too sweet. During World War II, around 4/5 of the citizens had fled Paris and headed towards the south to the unoccupied zone of France. Among these people that were forced to flee the city was the 23-year-old Solange Biguerin. Biguerin died in 2010 at the age of 91. and that is when her heirs were informed about the apartment in Paris. They were curious to see the apartment and immediately went to Paris, where they hired an auctioneer to estimate its contents. They were astonished to find that for 70 years the apartment remained untouched, with all of Bougueron's belongings covered with dust but perfectly preserved. What surprised them most was that a Giovanni Boldini painting of his muse, Mathilde Heloise Bougueron, but she is better known as Madame Martha de Florian. She was also the grandmother of the 23-year-old girl who abandoned the apartment. What a twist! Boldini completed the work in 1888, when Madame Martha de Florian was only 24 years old. The starting price for the painting was £253,000, but 10 bidders pushed its final sale to an astonishing $1.8 million. Have you ever found something exciting in the house? Let us know what was in it in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.